In a world that's driven by social media and constant comparison, it is easy to feel inadequate and isolated. But what if we shifted our focus from comparison to connection? Hey, beautiful human, it's me, Rebecca Wiener McGregor, the Anxiety Racer, and welcome to another episode of Effective Immediately, the show where we talk mindset, healthy emotions, leadership, and I give you a mindset shift that you can make effective immediately. Today, we're going to be talking about shifting from comparison to connection. And I want to talk about always with looking for data, mining for data, but not judging yourself. If you start to judge yourself, that's okay. But release that to look for the data so you can make the shifts that you want to make to help you feel the way that you want to feel and live the abundant life that you want to live. Okay, so let's dive in here because I want to talk about the dangers of comparison. Every single time you scroll, right, you might be doing a little escape someday and you just are scrolling through social media. You are just tuning in to your favorite platform and looking at other people's lives. Now we know in our head that people don't always post the hardest stuff that's happening in their life, right? Most of the time they are posting what is good and what looks good because probably they don't want to be reminded every time somebody comments on it of the hard stuff. We do have some people in our lives who are sharing a specific difficult, challenging journey that they're on, but most of the time, it is coming from a place of sharing the good stuff, right? So it is easy when you're trying to escape something, when you're not feeling so great, to be scrolling and seeing all the good stuff. It's easy to shift into comparison. Why do they have that and I don't? It could be a feeling. It could be an experience. It could be a partner. It could be a physical, tangible item. It could be a way of life that you don't have. And every time that you ask the question, even unconsciously, why do they have that and why do I not have that? You create a separation. And we know that when we are trying to manifest something, create something in our lives quickly, we have to be close to it emotionally and visually. We don't want to create a separation between us and that thing. And the other thing that's happening is that we're creating a separation between us and another person. When we are in comparison and we are seeing something that someone else has, we are creating an unrealistic expectation in our own lives. Why don't we have that? Well, why don't I have what they have? Why don't I have the partner they have? Why don't I have the kind of business they have? Now, I talk about this in my book because it's a standard that I have set in my life that everything that is meant for me will arrive to me. So what is on everybody else's social media that's meant for them is not always meant for me. I will get my version of whatever the thing is that I desire, whatever is meant for me, whatever I've chosen for me. Take that in for just a second. Because if you're creating the division and you're saying, why do they have that? Why can't I have that? It may not look the same for you. And you may feel terrible because you don't have it looking exactly like theirs does. The emotional impact to that is decreased confidence, feelings of inadequacy, feelings of jealousy. Jealousy at its root is a feeling, a belief that you're not worthy or enough to have what the other person, the other situation is. So you can see how when we're in comparison, we can invite jealousy in unintentionally and create more damage to a feeling of unworthiness. Just be loving with yourself, because I think at one time or another, we've all created this division, this separation between us and another person, comparing ourselves, us and another person feeling jealousy, wishing that we had something they have, and hoping and wishing that we had their life, even though we don't know all the intricacies of their life. So as you think about releasing the jealousy, releasing the comparison, you come back to yourself. You come back to what is actually meant for you, what you actually desire, instead of maybe what looks good on their profile because you are in a place where you needed something to look at. Or you've built a habit. It's easy to build a habit, right? Where you open your phone and you go to that app and you go look at it, and you're in this actually really vulnerable place unconsciously because you're in an automatic response. The other thing that happens when we're in comparison is that we lose our sense of ourselves, what we actually desire. So releasing comparison and coming back to connection again, we get to embrace our own unique journey. It is so important for us to embrace where we are, what is right and good and possible and likely and desired by us, so that we stay in the fullness of our vision. Now, we talk about this a lot around here, that when we are desiring something, to stay focused on the vision of it, to stay connected to the vision of it, to stay in the intention of it, because that will drive your thoughts, that will drive your words, that will drive your behaviors, and that will drive your state. And that will help you to make the actions and take the steps that you need to take to have it move toward you and you move toward it faster. So give yourself a breath and just think about how when you step back into your authentic self, your most truthful self, the focusing on what is the best of you, how that feels. And then imagine connecting rather than comparing, connecting from that place, from your truest place, from the place where you feel worthy and confident and trusting and faithful and certain that you can have what it is that you desire. Now imagine connecting from that place. How would that feel for you? What a genuine connection that you would create with another person when you're operating from that place and expecting that they're going to operate from that place as well. Not that you have to train them, not that it's your job to make someone operate a certain way, but the expectation is that because you can connect with other people in a more authentic way. And what will happen is you'll start to connect with other authentic, genuine people. Honesty will come forward. Just think about how that feels. Because I think this is important for all of us to reconnect to, because often we are living with fears. We are, as we try to up-level and upgrade, we're worried about how it will happen, what it will look like, if it can happen, when it will happen, all of those things. And that can feel very scary and isolating at times. It can put us into that chasing energy. And we know that when we're in chasing energy, things run away from us because of the chasing's energy being rooted in fear. So when we step back into receiving and we open our heart, we open our mind to receiving, and we connect to ourselves, we honor who we are, we honor our vision, our purpose, our mission, our passion, and we honor the things that we want to do and learn in this life. We settle into this beautiful, confident, at ease, content but not complacent state where we can be fully ourselves, the fullest expression of ourselves. From that place, we can share, we can connect, we can collaborate, we can be the truest version of ourselves. You have probably experienced in your life a friendship that was a little more surfacey, right? And I'm guessing if you're hanging around in this group that, and you're hanging around in my community, that surface doesn't feel so great for you, that you like to go deep. You like to explore the cosmos. You like to experience the depth of thought and the ways that we think about things and how to change things for the better and all of that. So thinking about you in this friendship that's kind of surfacey, it may take a lot more energy than you are interested in spending. But when you have a relationship that you can be fully yourself, you can express yourself with ease because it's coming from a healthy place, and you can express even the hard things that may not come from the healthiest place, but the friendship that you have developed with this person allows you to speak your truth and allows them to encourage you to be back in that healthy place. My friends and I, some of us even have secret words and secret phrases that we say to each other when we're going down a spiral of something that we don't want to feel. We are spinning into a place of feeling like we're a victim in a situation, or like we're not operating from our highest and best. Not that that's a requirement in friendship to be at your highest and best, but when you make an agreement, an authentic friendship, you can make an agreement within that friendship that says, hey, I really want to focus on up-leveling, on moving forward. I really want to focus my intention and my thoughts on what I'm trying to create in my life, and I'm not trying to go backward. I'm not trying to be in doubt or blame or guilt or shame. So when these things come up, let's have like a code word that will get us to shift, or let's call each other on that so we can not call each other out, but call each other forward into our best. What that does is it reminds you, first of all, that you have a person who's on your side, a person who cares enough about you to say to you, okay, you've been in this thought pattern for a while now. What do you want to create outside of it when you're ready? Not that you're their coach, not that it's your job to help them sort out what's in their mind or be their therapist or their coach, right? But to be that supportive, connected person, because that's what you then get for yourself. These connections get to be mutually beneficial. Now, we don't talk really a lot about friendship and connection in adults because we think that that's something that should already be set. But as you are up-leveling in your life, as you are growing and changing, your desires for the quality of connections and friendships that you have in your life are going to change. They are going to shift. And you are going to desire not to dump all your friends, but to make sure that you have a space in your life for friends who really understand your vision, your goals, and who are willing to walk the walk with you. So when shifting back, just acknowledging, when we go into comparison, we separate ourselves from that. When we come back to the place of connection, we create a mutually beneficial relationship that allows all of us to thrive together. This is so important. Women are hardwired to work together, to thrive together, to be connected. It is important for us because when we isolate, when we feel inadequate, more fear generally comes in. When we're disconnected, more pain, more fear comes in. It's not natural It's not a natural state for us to try to do every single thing on our own all the time. That is why people love to have support from a coach. That's why people love to have support from a community, because women are hardwired to work together. We create solutions together. We support each other. Okay, so as you think about releasing comparison, coming back to connection, a really amazing thing gets to happen. You get to build a supportive network. When you surround yourself with supportive and empowered individuals, you learn from each other. We are constantly learning unconsciously from one another. It happens like we're little sponges when we're kids, right? And even as we are adults, we're paying attention to how the people in our lives respond to things, how they handle challenges, how they handle greatness, the words that they say. You'll notice even as adult friends start hanging out together that over time they will almost have taken on one another's mannerisms and definitely vocabulary. They might even have a secret language, right? We become what we surround ourselves with. So it is important for us to have genuine connections, healthy, strong connections. First of all, because it's unhealthy for us to be separate and alone and only rely on ourselves. It invites more scarcity, more lack. And we are here to live abundant lives. Abundant in love, connection, trust, money, health, all of it. When we are in that place of true connection, we can build our support system. We can build our network, and we have the joy then of even connecting our friends with one another. Building this really powerful web of a network that is full of love, connection, honesty, trust, all of these things that support our growth. When I became an entrepreneur, well, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, but when I really began this journey of being a hypnotist and a coach 20 years ago, the people that I were networking with were these amazing, amazing professional women. And they became my best friends and are still my best friends all these years later. So some people say they have a best friend. I have more of a tier of best friends. The people who know me the best, the people who know my heart, know my vision, and support me, and they get the benefit of me knowing their heart and their vision and holding the vision for them and supporting them along the way as well. There is comfort in that. There is value in that. It keeps us out of that place of survival when we have a place to talk about our fears in a loving way, not in that scarcity or isolated way. We have a way to express ourselves, a place to express ourselves, to be honored, to be loved, to be seen, to be held. This is extremely important for women. It's important for men too, but it's extremely important for women who are on a path of growth and wanting to lead and change the world. You cannot do it alone. It will be so much harder and take so much more energy than it needs to take. The best part that I have experienced is witnessing the mutual growth in a community, in my own community, in my personal community, and in our community, such as my program, Extraordinary Wealth. Witnessing the growth and how they have, the members in there have supported one another. My friends and I, the ones who are closest to me, we have supported each other through the hardest things in our life and the easiest things in our life and the fun growth and the big challenges and everything. And we know that we are rock solid. That brings a comfort That brings that feeling of connection to the forefront, because the opposite feeling of connection is scarcity. And we know scarcity and lack put us in a place where we are in that chasing energy and not in that receiving energy. So give yourself a breath. Think about deepening the connections that you have. Think about opening yourself up to something that you really desire. Having a strong or stronger network. Being part of a powerful community where women support each other, where they brainstorm together and mastermind together and collaborate. This is the kind of thing that will fuel your own growth, and this will fuel the growth of your community. One of the things that I absolutely love the most is that in my community of friends and in our community in my program is that we wholeheartedly celebrate one another's wins. As you are growing and changing and succeeding in your life, having challenges and then succeeding again, it is imperative for you to have a place where you can safely shine, where you can share your wins, share your heart, share your successes, and be loved and honored, and that there will be people to celebrate with you. Because this, my love, this thing that you are trying to do of changing the way the world does things, changing the way the world experiences things, changing the way that they feel things, and being a person who is interested in creating a better world is no small task, and you cannot dim your light. It is imperative that you have a place to shine your light. It is imperative that you have a place where you can celebrate your wins and share your successes and share your wildest, biggest vision. These are not things that you need to keep quiet, but you need to have a place where you can be fully supported in expressing them. And also a place where you can be fully supported in expressing when you have a challenge and how to work through it without fear or anger, or at least an expanded level of fear or anger. Okay. Now, here's this other concept that I want to share with you. And I want you to think about shifting your jealousy. Any moment, remember, we're not judging ourselves here, but shifting those moments of jealousy into fuel for your inspiration. Any moment where you recognize a feeling of jealousy or envy, and you think, oh my gosh, why do they have something that I don't? What is it that they have about them that they can have what I want, or they can have it be so good for them? Come back to yourself and begin to use that energy as fuel to get the thing that you want, to create the life that you want. Remember, we're only seeing the best parts of people usually online. We're not usually sharing every single detail, so you don't have the whole picture, and you will never be inside the person experiencing their life the way they are. So as you are feeling those feelings of, oh, they seem to have it so good, how come I don't? Now this is also your mindset shift of the week, okay? This is your effective immediately moment of the week. And what I want you to do as I'm talking about this, I want you to think about every time that you feel jealousy or envy, or you just set your jaw and you think, must be nice. I want you to come back to yourself and think about what it is that you really want. Put your hand on your heart and ground yourself into the moment. Take a breath. Do I want what they have, or do I want what I want? Answer that question first. Think about why you want it. Think about what you want to create. Whether you want what it looks like they have, or you want your own thing. Think about adding that into your vision. Or if it's already there, thinking about what step can I take right now? What shift in my mind can I make right now? What step can I take right now that will move me closer to my vision? Let that jealousy be a moment that fuels you. Let that jealousy be a moment that ignites some more passion inside of you to get to the place where you can have the thing that you want. Jealousy will separate you from the things that you want or think you want. It will separate you from that feeling of worthiness. It will separate you from that feeling of deservingness. And when you take that moment to come back and shift into, okay, I see what they have. It was zinging me a little bit. I was feeling a feeling like, well, I want that. How can I have that? What can I do to have that? Come back to yourself. Do I really want it the way they have it? Or do I want it the way I want it? How do I want it? What do I want it to look like? Step into it. How will it feel for you? Include all of your senses. What will it feel like in your body? What will you see? What will you feel? What will your emotions be? And then think about, who do I have to be? What steps do I need to take? How do I have to behave? How do I have to speak in order to ensure that I get this thing that I want the way that I want it? And enjoy operating from that place. As you move through your world today and the coming days, I want you to think about how you can form connections rather than being in comparison, rather than being in separation. I want you to look at who is in your life that you trust, that you can be the fullest expression of yourself with. I want you to think about how you can add more of that into your life in a way that makes sense for you in your life, in a way that feels good and empowers you to shine your light, to be who you are, and to trust your path. And if you, of course, are craving some depth and you want to go deep with a mentor, you want to go deep and make the shifts and be supported doing the work that you want to do, you can reach out to me through RebeccaWiener.com, or you can go right to callwithrebecca.com to schedule a call with me, and we will talk about what it is that you are desiring in your life, what you think is holding you back, the path, and we'll create a path together to get the thing that you want, the way of life that you want, the way of being, and how you want to feel. Okay. Have a beautiful day. Practice moving from disconnection in that comparison back to connection. Let yourself be loved and supported and honored. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.